All right, well, hello everybody, and I am Bill Keller, and I work with the Desrochers Realty Group. I've been in real estate for about 11 years, and I just wanted to come and talk to you a little bit about who we are as a group, how we do our business, and so you can understand it. A lot of the technical things were kind of handled already, and I think Brian did an amazing job. So if there are any of those deeper questions, we'll probably refer back to Brian if we need to. But so anyway, a little bit about me. I grew up in Southwest Minneapolis. I went to Washburn High School, and actually my first job was over at the Dinah Perkins. So and now it's gone. So of course, real estate. Ended that life, but yeah, it was a good upbringing, and I love the area. I spent about 33 years in the restaurant business as regional manager, cattle company restaurants, a couple others you might know a little bit about, and then 11 years in real estate. So last year in real estate, I sold 29 units, about $9 million in revenue, and I only kind of give you that information to let you know that I'm in this full time, and I am very passionate about what I do. I love selling real estate, and my uncle sold it for 30 years, and so I used to walk through neighborhoods and hang things on doors for him, and just kind of always been in our blood. So anyway, who is the Desrochers Realty Group? We are based in Edina, actually, and we work all throughout the state. So we heard a little bit about cabins earlier. We work, I've sold houses in East Bethel all the way down to Albert Lee. We go to Wisconsin as well, and we actually have a piece of us that is in Florida. So we're a very large group, and we're very proud of how we're able to service different communities. Here's a picture of how many we are. So there's about 30 some agents. We also have 11 transaction specialists. So you're not just dealing with one person. There's a lot more energy behind that. So they're here to help us kind of get through our transactions, to answer all of the calls when we can. So you're not just having to deal with one person and then waiting for callbacks. That is something that's very important to us. Our group sells consistently. We're about 200 million a year. We sell about 500 homes. So let's see. This is Daniel and Julie right there in the middle on the couch. I don't know if you watched Twin Cities Live or maybe saw American Dream TV or some of that, but they've been on those shows, and that's important to us because it really helps people to understand that we're not, fly by night. Come in one day, gone the next. There's a lot of brokerages out there, and there's a lot of different people saying they can help you because they're looking for, obviously, business. But we do our business a little bit differently. We're more about kind of building this building block at a time. And Daniel and Julie are very focused on making sure that we work that way. I wanted to be here today because a lot of my motivation is my family. So I just went through all this over the last 7 years. My father had Parkinson's, my mother had Alzheimer's, and she was in a memory care facility, and so we had to go through a lot of things with the real estate and just kind of working through the process. And there's a lot of energy all around, making sure that their care is going well, we're in the right facility and things are happening. But then there's the business side of life, if you will, with real estate and with all the things that Brian just kind of laid out here for you recently. And so it was kind of a lot, and I thought, there needs to be somebody there that can kind of take care of that portion of the part of your life that was big. We all own real estate, and we have it in many different ways, and we hold it in different ways, and so you need professionals that understand that and have the ability to be able to move that from one person to another, or to create the assets that are necessary for the next part of your life, okay? So Um, the big thing for us is how we do our job. That's the most important thing to us. We build relationships first. We're very strong on active listening. We want to understand exactly where everybody is coming from, how we can best plug into what you have going on, and there's a huge level of respect that comes because we understand that it's not how we feel about anything, it's about how you feel about it, and we work with your families very closely. I just did this for a couple of families, one in St. Louis Park. I had a family that had to move down to Arizona. They handed me the keys. There's a level of trust in something like that. So they handed me their keys. I had their house all cleaned out. We got it, I had 3 or 4 different contractors. I was in contact with them every day. We did some FaceTiming with their sons so they could see what was going on and have some level of understanding and comfort that they were being taken care of properly. So we have the ability to do that, and we take a lot of pride in that. So our relationships are something that we work off big. I came out of the restaurant business, as I said, so I work nights and weekends. I'm not, just Monday through Friday, just during the day. I work anytime I need to work. I work with family members all the time. Another piece is our specialized support, which we talked about a little bit earlier. These people are the right people in the right seats is kind of how we put it in our business. We figure out what they're best at and we put them where they can be the best asset for all of you. So when the calls come in, I have one transaction coordinator that's going to be assigned to me. So if somebody needed to get a hold of me or get an email to me or away from me, I also have my transaction coordinator that is spot on. They know every detail, they know your name, they know your situation, and they're taking care of you as you should be taken care of. So we're very prideful about that. The one thing that you can't really get from somebody that just goes to school and studies real hard and comes out with a degree or a certificate in whatever it is they do, the one thing that a lot of people are missing when they do that is the passion. We're very passionate about what we do. We care deeply about how we sell homes, how we handle those contracts, how we work with other agents. One of our mottos over at our place is maximizing profits, minimizing stress. We understand as we need to move an asset or sell a property for somebody, we're not just trying to get it sold so we can move on to next. Those are transactional people and they have no space on our team. We care about people and we create lasting relationships with the families as well, so that we're always there to make sure that they understand. We work with title companies that are focused, laser focused on being able to handle the things that are most important to you as you transfer these assets and sell them or however you handle them. And again, we also work outstate Minnesota, so we can work on cabins and raw land and those types of things as well. So some of the things that that will help you do is kind of help you to prepare your home to get it ready for sale. My people in St. Louis Park, they were there for 35 years. I have a gentleman down in Burnsville, he's been there for about 22 years. And they've collected a lot of things. And what to do with all of those things, sometimes it's a little too much for them to manage. So we have people that are our trusted vendors that are able to, whether we help them to sell things on eBay, or we introduce them to people like Brian, or we introduce them to people that can do hardwood floors or change out a window or something that's necessary. So we're not just working on the sale. We're diving in deep and taking ownership in whatever it is that you would like us to so that we can be helpful. So we have a few pictures here we wanted to kind of show you in what we do. Like these two pictures here, this one, this is the after, and that one over there is the before. And The reason why we want to show you a little bit of before and afters is because this is how we were able to take these $250,000 houses or $500 or $2 million homes and turn them into 35% more. Yes, the market was really good. Yes, interest rates are going up. Yes, things are changing. But with our amount of time in the business and our understanding on how to sell homes, we do things like this and we are still winning. And we are still helping our clients get the best deal that they can. So we have found ways. We have lots of buyers. We're still closing houses all the time. We direct all of our buyers with our 30-some agents into your homes to show them so that we can sell your homes and keep everything moving. So we're very focused on making sure that your home is prepped properly and that it's ready for sale. So the other part is, there's one piece. What is the best time to sell your home? The best time to sell your home is when you're ready to sell it. Everyone has a different clock. There is no perfect time. Someone wants to wait. Maybe interest rates are going to go down. Interest rates, so buyers want to wait until spring. No, they don't. Their situation is what decides when they need to buy a home. They'll tell me that one week and then they'll call me up next week and they'll ask to go see a home. So a lot of the times it's what's happening in their lives. There are things that happen, and so we keep moving. So the market doesn't stop. We don't shut it down in the winter and start it up in the spring. We keep moving at the pace of all of our clients. And we've proven to be very, very successful. We're the #5 team in Minnesota. And so, yes, I am here to represent my team, but I represent 47 people that are all ready to take care of any of your needs and all that you have. So I can take some questions if any of you have any, but I just wanted to make sure you understood who we are, how we do our business, why the senior communities are so important to us, and how we believe that we can help you. Yes?
I've had friends who, as they're moving into an assisted living or independent living or whatever, they end up on a list. They end up on having to wait for the unit they need, all this kind of business, so that it's not just they go buy another house. They're moving into something that's got its own determination of when they can move in.
Correct.
So how do you work with that if they're going to sell they want to stay in their house until they have to move, but they don't always know when the opening is going to be for the unit they want to move into?
Yeah,
Get what I'm
and
saying?
great question. So we kind of deal with this also in different ways. Here, let's say somebody wants to buy a new house for themselves, but they're afraid that their home that they're living in is going to sell in 7 days and they're not going to find where they want to live. We work with those types of things all the time. So in your timing question, we'll prep the house and get it ready. We judge the market and go through and understand the timing that's necessary. We'll stay in contact with you to find out when that is going to happen and with the facility. And when it looks like there's going to be an opening, I'm assuming that it could be anywhere from 30 to 60 days, you might find out. If that's true, there's plenty of time to get that done. And if that isn't the case, and they say, hey, we got to do this tomorrow or the next day. Selling a home is all about preparing it properly, making sure it's staged properly, and then selling it at the right price. Now I know I own my house and I'm in West Bloomington, and I believe my house is worth $380,000, let's say. But it might not be to the person that's buying it. So we have to be careful that we don't just go in and try to get what we think the house is worth. We are professionals and we're not trying to undercut prices so we can just sell homes. Again, it goes back to the relationships. It goes back to how we do our jobs as a team. And there's a level of trust that has to be in there. So when we go through and we do a market analysis on your home, we're going to lay out what we believe. We're going to show you all of the information. We're going to ask you what you think and get your opinion or your family's opinion or whomever you would like us to work with. So, but timing is something that we can definitely work with, and it's not difficult.
One of the things that I know, being involved with senior communities, is that those wait lists that they're talking about can be 6 months, 9 months, a year, correct, you guys?
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm saying. So I think what she's asking is, say they say a year, when should they start thinking about it?
Oh,
How many months back, right? That they
Right.
should start making, connect with you right away, and then do you just check in with them and then kind of backpedal backwards on when they should start? I think that's the
yes,
question.
thank you very much for that. So, yeah, that's exactly what, as soon as we find out that that's happening, yes, we stay in touch. But depending on what needs to be done at the home, sometimes there's a lot of exterior work that needs to be done in the summer. Just depending on those types of things, we can have contractors come in and start, getting little things done here and there. But then ultimately, if I said, well, it's gonna take 60 days to sell your home or whatever, that can be inaccurate. And so we have to kind of, there's gonna be a little give and take in the market. But generally speaking, if we have 90 days, 60 to 90 days, we can get it prepared and on the market depending on how much work is necessary. And then depending on also what the value level is, and then we can go on the market and go. If it's upper values, if we're talking about million plus homes, we'll need some more time.
I can't hear the questions, so
Oh.
maybe it's been answered, but how do you base the value selling price, suggested selling price, in comparison to how much the house is being taxed for?
Good question. So there's a lot of different ways to value a home currently, okay? Everyone's already heard of Zillow and Realtor.com. Those are just two numbers out there, and they have their own logarithms with how they come up with them. But as a professional, I'm still gonna pay attention to what they say, because that is what the consumers are looking at. But then there's also another way. So we have our multiple listing service where I can go in and I can pull up all the houses that are just like yours, close in square footage, that are within a mile of your home, same style, and then active, the ones that are pending, like about to close, and then the ones that have closed. And then if they're upper level homes, we might have to go back a little farther, but we try to keep it. So the market changed, right, really rapidly in the last 7 or 8 months. So I'm only gonna look at houses that have closed in the last 2 months to give you a more accurate number on where that pricing comes from. So there's a lot of pieces involved in coming up with that pricing. And tax levels, there's no specific percentage, let's say. So I can't just go to the tax records, look at your value that they say you're stated on there, that's what they're taxing you at, and then figure out what the percentage is. I mean, I could do that and average it across 20, 30 homes that are around your neighborhood and see if it matches up. But I think the best way is to take what's actually happening in the marketplace, what has sold and what is about to be sold and what is active, because that is our competition. Does that answer your question? Ask it again.
I think sort of.
Okay, but do you want to ask me another one, or?
No,
Okay.
it just seems like that all of a sudden they've put the prospective value jumped way up. And therefore, and then mortgage rates have gone up also,
Yes,
which slows the market.
it does.
And so do we just wait for things to change, or is there hope?
Right. I have a lot of hope. I really do.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Sure. What she's asking about is, well, as the tax levels are coming up and interest rates are also rising, what do we do? Do we just kind of hang on and just kind of hope that things change for best and go that route? Is that correct? Yes? Okay. So the answer is, just like we talked about earlier, the timing is not based on what's happening in the market. We can't always, if you have time and you want to see what happens, that's not even the best method from what we've even seen in some people. Some people now, we're looking at these buyers. We had buyers this spring, right? 2% interest rates, but every time they try to go buy a house, they got beat out. There were 20 people that were ahead of them, people offering cash, bam, 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 bam. So what did those people say? Let's just wait a little bit. Let's let things cool down, right? So what happened? Interest rates went up 4.5%. So their buying power went down. So instead of buying a $700,000 house, now they're buying a $550,000. So now what do they want to do? They want to go back to yesterday. So that's what I'm saying. You just have to work off of your own timing, and the market continues to churn and to go. That's my answer.
We good?
Well, we live right here in Edina, and I tell you, if you look around our neighborhood, every other house has been torn down and rebuilt.
Yeah.
And we live in an old 1954 Rambler. And I'm like, oh, should I replace my driveway or should I put siding on, considering maybe in the next 10 years we will be trying to sell? You know,
Yes.
should I upgrade it? How do you know, or do you make a decision on any home you're looking at, that it's gonna be a tear down? Or is it gonna be sold as is with a few improvements? And, I mean, at this point, we don't wanna spend any money on it because we've been told, oh, it'll be a tear down.
Right. So we're talking about a home that may or may not be a tear down. It's in a great neighborhood in Edina. Everyone understands Country Club and all the things that have been happening throughout. My brother lived on 5101 Gorgas. And they just sold their house a couple of years ago. They actually bought a house, tore it down, and built one up. So depending on, if you say it's going to be 10 years from now, then probably waiting 10 years is probably a little rough. There's probably going to be some of those projects and things that you might want to take care of just for your own, feel. But for the rest of it, we have builders and different developers that will come in and take a look at it and see. But another thing that I can do from my position is to look at all of the other homes in the area and what has been torn down. Where are those values now? What is where does it look like it's going? They're starting to do a little bit of that in West Bloomington and other communities. They're starting to tear them down and starting to build them up because, there's only so much land, right? And Minneapolis, even in Fulton neighborhoods, are doing that. To answer your question, some of the majors, like if you're having siding or, some of those things that you just can't live without, you should do. But if you can hold off on doing your driveway just because it has some cracks in it and it's a little bit uneven, I would let it go until you're a little bit closer to making that decision on what you want to do. But there's no rule about having one of us come out, having me come out and just take a look at the property, just kind of give you a general assessment. My time doesn't cost you anything at all. So I am a resource, that's why I'm here. I wanted to be a part of this with Julie because I wanted to make sure, you guys know I'm in this business because I love it and I like taking care of people and helping others. So if you just have questions, what should I do with this? Bill, who can help me remodel this kitchen? I need new countertops, I don't even know who to call. Call me, I can help you. We have a good list of trusted vendors and I will help you with that. Yes.
Can I just add to that question? I sold a home 2 years ago, bought a new house. At my age, I bought a new house. But at any rate, what I did before that was about a year before I wanted to sell, I got an agent. I said, tell me what I should do and what I shouldn't do. And I had different ideas. I thought I needed a new driveway. Don't touch that driveway. He had a few little things I should do and they weren't the things I thought needed. So it was good to have that expert opinion on what needs to be tweaked in order to sell.
Wow, great.
Did they tear your house down?
No, they didn't, and I was in that situation.
Yeah.
Everyone was saying it's going to be a tear down. It was not torn down. You just don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay.
You don't help people looking for a different option, living option. You are on the selling end of the house.
I am.
But
I
not
do
the-
buy and sell,
I'm-
go ahead.
A lot of realtors will help people find someplace else. Do you know what I'm saying?
As far
Whether
as like
that be
assisted
senior
living,
living or not.
yes. So like co-ops and different things like that, we have worked with, but if we're talking about true assisted living, at this point, we'll go through Julie and with her team to help us to create that. That's how we kind of fit into the piece, so that we all kind of work in unison to kind of pull that together.
Yeah, if you're looking for a co-op or a condo or something like that, definitely you would want to go through him to help in that sale and purchase. We're just giving you all your options on our application, on our website, so that then you can decide, you know, what you want to do. Because most assisted living is not, you don't own from it, so.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Granny flats, is Minnesota a state that does not allow granny flats yet?
Yeah, so it's been going through, the city of Minneapolis is kind of working through some of those issues right now. I don't think there is a definitive answer at this point as far as granny flats go. But they have been bringing it up with the commissioners, kind of discussing it, but I don't think that they've made any final decisions on that. Yeah. Thank you all very much.